This trip will take us to some places that are not on the usual tourist itinerary. But we start from London, which is on everyone's list. We arrive in London a day early and check into the Four Seasons Park Lane. A little jet-lagged, we opt for an early dinner at our favorite London pub. Then turn in early to catch up on our sleep. We get up late and take a walk in Hyde Park. It's an opportunity for some semi-wildlife photography on the Serpentine. We're back to the hotel to meet our fellow travelers at the welcome dinner. It looks like we'll be well fed on this trip. Susan, our expedition leader, introduces her team. In the morning, we're at London Stansted Airport to board our jet for the trip to Dakar, Senegal. And 6.5 hours later, we land at Dakar. We taxi to our stand and deplane. It's great to smell the African air again. We have a police escort into the city. Our home for 2 nights is the Radisson Blu, overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. We hurry down to the pool level for a welcome reception featuring a local jazz group playing traditional West African instruments, a kora and a bellophon for a unique sound. But we have to work for our dinner. We're in the kitchen of the Casino de Port restaurant, waiting for instructions from the chef. He speaks French and Wolof, but I think he's telling us that we're making Senegalese comfort food. There's garlic, limes, tomatoes, shallots, and herbs, and well-seasoned chicken marinated in lime juice. The chicken is grilled and then braised. But the secret is dega, onion sauce. Lots of onions cooked slowly to caramelize. While our dinner cooks, we enjoy Moroccan beer and some really good bean fritters. Finally, the main course is ready. It's served over rice and called chicken rice with onion sauce in English. In the morning, we head to Lake Retba, the Pink Lake. We stop at Chez Saline to get on these old French Army 4x4s. But the lake is not pink. Heavy rains have diluted the ordinarily briny lake, which has ruined the salt gathering and impacted the tourist industry. So there is stress on Lake Retba. We drive along the Atlantic shoreline, heading for the Fulani village. We're met by the head man and some energetic dancers. They lead us into the village. The head man proudly shows off the village well. The kids are very friendly. But the goats seem a little confused. Outside the school, we find more dancers to entertain us. And some of our fellow travelers can't resist the drumming. And the kids were really enjoying it too. Then it's time for a walk through the souvenir shop. We head back to the 4x4s, then back along the Atlantic, back to Chez Celine for lunch, and now for something completely different. Dakar is called the Paris of Africa for its vibrant art, music, and fashion scene. We're at the Dakar Arts Village. The gallery collection is impressive. There are complicated installation pieces. There are works in textiles, bronze, and wood. And paintings that look like mosaics. We visit some of the workshops to meet the artists. The next stop on the art tour is the Lorman Gallery. Is it a house or is it art? It's hard to separate the two here. There's some very sophisticated work here, and it's definitely African. On our way back to the hotel, we pass the African Renaissance Monument. It's the tallest statue in Africa. Our guide says, let's stop at the fish market. I think you'll like the photography. He was right. The colorful pirogues that the fishermen use are definitely worth a picture. But there's a problem. Because of fishing by Chinese factory trawlers, there's little left for the local fishermen to catch. Then we're back to the Radisson. Entertainment tonight is Le Grand Ballet, a very energetic and enthusiastic dance troupe. For more of Le Grand Ballet, I made a separate video of the highlights from their performance. In the morning, we check out of the hotel and head for the port of Dakar. We're taking the ferry to Goree Island, a little more than a mile offshore. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site to memorialize the Atlantic slave trade. For a period of over 400 years, over 12 million Africans were systematically captured and exported to the New World. While Goree Island contributed only a small fraction of the number, the artifacts of the trade have been preserved here. The centerpiece of the UNESCO site is the House of Slaves, built in 1776 near the end of the slave trade. The house is a humbling reminder of man's inhumanity to man. Our visit was made more intense by a choir singing while we explored the first floor slave quarters. enslaved Africans were held in these cells for 2 to 3 months waiting for a buyer and a ship. This is the door of no return. Africans shackled 2 by 2 shuffled down this hallway. Once they passed through the door to board the waiting ship, they would never see their families or set foot on African soil again. These women greeted us dressed as signaries. The practice here was for European slave traders to marry local women, and when they returned to Europe and their other family, they left the signaries in charge of their slave trading business. Many became rich and powerful. In 1815, slavery was abolished in France's African colonies. Goree became an important port for shipment of peanuts, peanut oil, gum arabic, and ivory. Port d'Estrée is now a historical museum. It's time to leave Goree Island. We have an airplane to catch. You really need more time to absorb this place. I made an additional video of the performance at the House of Slaves. Our plane is waiting for us at the airport to take us west across the Atlantic.